What's good, y'all? Hope you guys are all doing well. So this video, this hour-long TMNT video, I'm gonna take my glasses off, that glare. This hour-long TMNT video is basically a video of a bunch of my TMNT fun fact, history, all that videos put into one. I want to see if this will help the channel out, and I want to get some newer viewers to see the older videos, the ones that I still work very hard on. But we will be back with the regular scheduled content. I just want to see how this will work. Enjoy the video. Cowabunga! What's good, y'all? Welcome back to another video. First of all, I hope your day is going amazing. And
Hi, the Shredder.
You are not the Shredder. Ninja. Please, what is this get-up?
Insolent fuck! What is this, get up? Try to get up from this, you little bastard. Consider yourself shredded.
Oh. Who was that? That was not the Shredder. Well, guys, he might have stabbed me in a major artery, but that ain't gonna stop me from making a fire video. Now, as I was saying, welcome back, y'all. I hope you guys are having an amazing day, genuinely. First of all, before we even get to the point of the video, which apparently there's been a lot of points in this video. Okay. I hope y'all are having a great day. Genuinely, I mean it. Not just saying it. I hope your life is going amazing and swell. And if it's not, tell the reason to go to hell. Okay, I'll stop rhyming. Or will I? You look good too. Canceled TMNT content. If I threw up a gang sign right there and you're the rival gang, I'm sorry. As y'all may know, I might be a TMNT fan. I pointed to the wrong poster. Basically, right, when media is a thing, there's a lot of canceled versions of said media. Today, we're gonna take a look at some of the wild, wonky, and even disappointing canceled versions of TMNT projects we could have got. TMNT, the next mutation. Some of y'all might be thinking I'm talking about the show TMNT, the next mutation, because there was a show named that. No. So, for those of you that do not know, the old 80s movies, the first TMNT movies, was gonna have a fourth. There are 3 installments in the franchise, and there was going to be a fourth, which is this movie called The Next Mutation. And guys, this part might come as a shocker, but there was gonna be the next mutation.
Damn, fam, you got the whole chat laughing.
So basically, the turtles were gonna mutate more. I explained that well, didn't I? 5 stars on Yelp. Or, you know, I could just take you on a date because you looking so good. You know what I said? Basically, it was just going to be their mutations evolving. We got a few pieces of concept art to look at. First up is Donnie. He doesn't really look like he evolved overall too much. But there is something saying that he was like, his vision was going bad, close to being blind maybe. Hence the goggles, but I guess in turn, he got even smarter. Daredevil, I made a video on how TMNT is like Daredevil, inspired off of it, y'all. You got Leo, he just looks like Leo with a do-rag. To be honest, I really do not know what he was gonna change, but he has that fit on. Maybe that's it. Maybe he just got sponsored by Nike.
The fuck is that?
have no fucking clue. You leave,
being fucking wrong.
yeah, you leave for 2 days and they got everybody in this bitch.
And our name is the Super Billionaire Bros.
You got Mikey with this streetwear fit. Boy, he clean as hell. Michelangelo, that's Mr. Take Ya Hoe. He really do got that fit on, and apparently his mutation was gonna be that he could transform somehow into a human. However that makes sense. Let it make sense. He also has his nunchucks in his wrist, because why not? You got Raph. Well, he got a little primal with it.
LeBron James hairline, where you had went?
This design is honestly kind of sick to me, mainly because he has like a skull in his chest. That boy is not the Punisher.
Let me tell you something else, man. Hey, Herschel, man, let me ask you something. Let me tell you something, man.
But he just kind of looks more monstrous as a turtle. And last but not least, speaking of monstrous, you got Master Splinter. Boy, get away from me. How about that? That's what I'm gonna call him. Master, back it up. What? Hey, yo! I did not mean it like that. Stop. 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 But now, seriously, his mutation went beyond. And if you guys seen the old movies, you know what Splinter looked like in those. He looked like a sick Muppet. So, I don't understand how he mutated.
Oh, son of a gun. You thought I was going to say son of a bitch, didn't you?
Halt. Candy break. Call me the Candy Man. Are you gonna I try to pour out like 2, I poured out about 7. Damn. Scoop him back up in there. Alright, well, we got 4. Yeah, I just did something to me. The rest of this video, I'm tweaking. It might have been laced. Oh, y'all. I was about to put him back, but I'm rude. Bro, I'm not just telling you TMNT canceled BS. Take some, put your hand out. Can you put your hand out? Cup it, damn, cup it. The shit gonna fall out. I got you, twin. I got you, twin. Alright, y'all, this next canceled project we're gonna talk about is...
Oh my god, what is that?
Listen. A Hallmark special? Yeah. I don't really understand either. But that's not the kicker for me. The kicker is, this Jean sounded fire. I really truly do not know if this project was going to be rated R, but it seemed to be rated a very dark twist on TMNT, which I know not everybody loves the dark side of TMNT. Me, I'm a glazer. Incredible. You know what? I love the dark side of TMNT. And that's on me. But basically, it was going to be a 2-part movie, I guess. Each part was going to be 2 hours, and it was going to be on Hallmark. And it was going to be like a special about the turtles. And I guess it was going to be a little bit darker, but just you wait. Let's take a look at some of the concept art. We could have had YN Raph. He looks tough. He has tats. Who did that? Oh, this is who. Who is this guy? He looks racist, but he's giving the toughest tats around. Hey, yo. Here we got more of the turtles chilling, doing what they do to the fullest. They got them boys in New York puffers. Word to your mother. Give me a bacon, egg, and cheese.
I got my puff and my Timbs. I need my bacon, egg, and cheese, too.
Bacon, egg, and cheese. Bacon, egg, and cheese. Let me get a bacon, egg, and cheese.
I don't know what's wrong with Splinter, though. He ate some rat poison. We don't support that. But probably the craziest part about this little special to me is the fact that Shredder was going to be a turtle.
What the fuck?
I don't know why. I don't know how. But he was gonna become a 5th turtle. And obviously he wasn't gonna be rocking with them. And I guess things were gonna go sour. I'm not entirely sure because we never seen it. But keep in mind, was a Hallmark special that was supposed to come out. It ended up just vanishing, I guess. But they were genuinely speaking on this like it was gonna be a thing. But can we really just admire how tough Turtle Shredder is?
Sensational.
Tajon is tough. I cannot get enough. Damn. I'm not gonna lie, all the trolleys are getting to me. The trolleys are getting to me. The trolleys are getting to me. Y'all, next up, we got a show. And this show would have been quite the treat. This show was going to be incredibly inspired off the Mirage Turtles.
So good.
Look! Are you looking? Now I know not everybody is like a crazy big fan of this design, and this could just be genuine TMNT bias because I love TMNT and I love the origins of TMNT, but genuinely I think these are some of the coolest designs, mainly because I like the fact that the first TMNT comics were more gruesome and they kind of give a more gruesome-esque vibe to it, but these are like one-of-one designs.
Bam boom, bada bam boom bop. Ooh, hot boom. What? Bam, hold up. Kablam! What? Grenade.
They're very accurate. I'm honestly, genuinely kind of salty it didn't happen. Also, what I'd like to say, Peter Laird and Kevin Eastman, I'm pretty sure, were going to be working on this show closely, to which they also did with the 2003 show. So, to be 100% honest with you, there probably is a lot of similar ideas within the 2003 show that probably were shared with this. And this show is very special, and I'll show you why in a second, but peep this. We even got some concept art of Shredder, what he could have looked like. I'm not really a fan of the gold or orange, bronze, whatever you want to call it, color. I like the bee design a lot more, but I don't really care for the fact that like the chest still has the orange in it. But you never know what they were going for. Like overall the design is incredibly tough though. I'm just not a fan of the color. There's also concept art here of Casey and April, which looks fire. They look tough. Motherfucker Casey looks like Kevin 11 off Ben 10. Y'all, here's why I say that this show we're talking about is special. Because unlike the other things that we're talking about today, we're not just looking at concept art. This show was very close to being made to the point where there is a small preview of what the show could have been like with voice acting and everything. And we're gonna watch it right now. Just so y'all know, I have not watched this. I have waited for y'all painfully when I found out this is a thing, by the way. But let's not waste any more time. Calm little beat. I thought that was the damn foot. It was a rat. Lock me up. Door open. Bro's lucky he don't got J's on.
Sushi out back. What? What are you?
Ooh. Bro didn't feel nothing. Get grabbed. Ooh, this is tough. Am I smoking crack? Did Leo not just grab that? Oh. This is the most TMNT street thugs I've ever seen. I don't know how to describe it. Oh. Oh.
All right, scrubs, step off.
Who's this?
Ah, you're gonna be a tough one, yeah? Gucci, Gucci.
Someone we're gonna open.
I like the rap. I actually like the rap voice.
Hold this. I didn't
It's
get enough
not
for
bad.
As my master says, nothing worthwhile is ever easy.
That's aura. Bro, imagine if this was like an actual show that got made, and like they weren't just trying to like do a little storyboard animated to show, or pitch whatever they were trying to pitch. Bro, these fights could be crazy. Ooh, but I can definitely see like this is giving me 2003 vibes for sure.
What are you?
Late.
Yeah, that was pretty fire, I'm not gonna lie to you. It really did give me 2003 vibes. It was very reminiscent of the 2003 show. Even the music kind of seemed similar. A lot of the ideas of the shows probably like connected. They probably are very similar. 2003, probably a more fine cut of whatever that could have been. You don't really see the Mirage Turtles color-coded a lot. Because a lot of the time, if y'all don't know, the Turtles were originally all red. They all had red headbands. It's just cool to see like all the Mirage Turtles with their colored headbands. I just think that's tough because it's not a normal thing that you see. I'm salty. And you know what I'm gonna do about that? Nothing. Because that John got canceled in 2001. And boy, I wasn't even alive to have the fun. I was born in 2006. 2006, baby. Hey, hold on. Just because I was born in 2006 doesn't mean I can't bag the 2001 shorties. Lock me up. Lock me up. The police are on their way. Let them try. How did I end up in the back rooms? That's not creepy at all. Bro, I thought I just saw evil LeBaron. I'm just getting scared. Yo, I just saw back rooms monster. What the fuck? Yo, we are not.
Hey, yo, you a bitch.
Did he just call me a bitch? Let's scrap then. That was the second time. The second time I got bodied in my own video. What are we talking about, man? The last canceled TMNT project we'll be talking about in this video is Supernatural. The Michael Bay TMNT movies. Well, they're the Michael Bay TMNT movies.
MC Mikey. MC Ricky.
But they were gonna be something before that. They were going to be alien TMNT movies. Y'all, just look. The fuck? Who is this? That ain't Michelangelo. That's Michelangelo. They face look like a Burger King burger. I don't know how to describe it, but they do. I guess apparently, originally they were supposed to come from Dimension X, which for those of you that aren't incredibly TMNT friendly, hi, welcome to TMNT Lore 101. I'm gatorSTUDIOS, I will be your teacher. Dimension X is a dimension that they called X.
Ain't no fucking way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy.
But I guess they were supposed to come from Dimension X and be warriors. Only battle they need to be fighting is why they head shit look like this. That shit's so chopped. Not my goats. How your nose higher on your face than your eyes? You gotta live in surprise. But honestly, that's not even the craziest part to me. Shredder was gonna be an agent. Who is that? Aiden Pierce? Like, get him out of here. Y'all wanna know the worst part though? His name wasn't even actually Shredder in this original cut. Y'all gonna think I made this up because this sounds like something I'd say. But his name was Schrader. Not Shredder. Schrader. Agent Schrader. There seems to be some, turtles from space that just arrived on our planet there, right? Like what, like y'all, just look at this whole schematic. Just take a look. How you feel about that? Does it make you feel uncomfortable, uneasy? Maybe a little bit nauseous? Don't worry, me too. Or that I just got kicked in the gut and stabbed by a fake Schrader and a backrooms monster. Wait a minute, was that Schrader? I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm glad this movie ended up going the route that it did. And that's probably the first time and the last I will ever say that about the Michael Bay TMNT.
You guys know how Spider-Man always gets the most foul treatment for essentially no reason? Well, I gotta say, Donnie becomes Spider-Man. Welcome to the TMNT Image Comics. Now, what day would be really messed up for a traumatic, life-changing moment to go down on? How about Donnie's birthday? So, here they are all having a birthday party for Twin. They're enjoying each other's company, having a great time. Then, Donnie walks away to grab the cake or something, and, he gets greeted by two random cyborgs pointing sticks directly at his head bone. Donnie is honestly confused, so he thinks it's part of the party, like a surprise. However, the only surprise he gets is when they air that bitch out. See, these two Terminator-built bitches just start blasting and send Donnie flying back. You can see his shell flying off, skin and all that. It's quite the horrific sight, you could say. This is a surprise attack launched by this villain named Pamiko, selling the party hard. I'm not gonna lie to you. Anyways, the cyborgs get some good little squabbles with the turtles and beat their ass. So they grab Donnie and Splinter and kidnap them because shooting a cyborg gun in his face wasn't bad enough, I guess. His birthday, by the way. So Donnie is asleep, obviously, but when he wakes up, he's in a helicopter with the cyborgs. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I'd be quite terrified waking up like this. And apparently Donnie is too, because he starts tweaking. Like he kind of just starts going stupid in the back of the helicopter, which causes this sorry-ass pilot to swerve, and Donnie falls out the helicopter. Because he's real like that, he takes a cyborg with him. See, me, I can actually drive a helicopter in GTA, unlike the bot that's driving here. Anyways, Donnie is free falling and he knows it's up for him from here. And well, he wouldn't be wrong. He crashes onto the bare concrete straight on his shell. So he lays there, slumped. Eventually he's able to communicate with Leo due to ancient meditation shit. And they visit the crash site in spiritual form, and they find Donnie's body just laying there with his shell splattered. When Donnie goes back inside his body, he comes to find out that he's paralyzed, telling Leo he can't feel anything from the neck down, which is crazy. But the worst part isn't even said yet. See, there's rats in this alleyway, and Donnie is very positive they are eating his body, but he just can't feel it. So he's left laying there, wondering. Of course, now that Leo knows where he is, him and the rest of the turtles pull up, but when they show up, they're too late, as Donnie's body is already completely gone, and all that remains is his skeleton. Moment of silence for the boy Don. Well, at least a little moment of silence, because it turns out he's not dead. You see, the turtles are in trouble per usual, then boom, Donnie shows up, but this time he's a cyborg, and he saves them. So how did this happen? Well, it's actually quite simple. Remember that fuck-ass pilot swerved and Donnie fell out of the helicopter? Remember, he took a cyborg with him. Well, apparently the robot part of the cyborg was something similar to like a symbiote or nano from the 2003 show. This metal sort of has a mind of its own, and it needs a host at all times, I guess. And considering dude it was connected to is asleep on the floor, it ditched him and went onto Donnie, for the most part healing him, and now he's a cyborg. So what about the skeleton? Well, that was the other dude that was connected to the cyborg. And the turtles do actually say it's weird how the skeleton has 5 fingers, but I guess I didn't suss them out enough, so they just assumed he was dead. But it's not all butterflies and rainbows, because the consciousness of the robot is still very much alive and is fighting Donnie in a mental battle over who has control at like all times. Now, Donnie for the most part is winning, but there are times he's not, and he has to lock back in immediately. And you know, of course, this can't be a nice robot. It gotta be a tweaker robot. It gotta be 7-Eleven crackhead robot, just on crash out energy for no reason whatsoever. This isn't the end of Donnie's story, of course, but I will leave it here.
Cowabunga!
Donatello gets stabbed in the chest bone and dies. Wait, what? Okay. So for those of you guys that didn't see my last video, short rundown. On Donnie's birthday, the cyborgs pull up, beat the turtles' ass, kidnap Donnie. Then he falls out of a helicopter, lands on his shell, which then paralyzes him, and he starts getting eaten by rats. Then the cyborg thing merges with him, and he becomes a turtle cyborg. Not that confusing, right? Alright, let's go. So like I said in the last video, that wasn't the end of Donnie's story. So Donnie finally reunites with his brothers after they think he died, and you know, that's nice, but as I said before, the artificial intelligence part of Donnie is in a mental battle with him. It has a mind of its own, which Donnie expresses a lot with fear. As one day the turtles walk in on Donnie with the strap pointed to his head. They are instantly of the opinion that he's trying to off himself, which I mean is fair to assume. But Donnie says he's just trying to test to see if it will attack him, because he doesn't understand the AI himself yet. As to why Dog would put that shit up to his dome, I could not tell you, but he did it. But as I said, Donnie doesn't know the lengths of his power yet himself, and he seems to be the only one really taking it serious, because the other turtles want to spar despite his obvious concern. But they do it anyways, and Donnie actually starts packing him up. He's fast but also strong and probably has more endurance. For the most part, their squabbles are good, great little squabbles. That is until Casey enters the lair. And well, him not knowing that Donnie is a cyborg, he thinks this is the cyborg that broke into the lair and attacked them. So like the real ass nigga Casey is, he runs up on Donnie attacking him, trying to defend his friends. Of course, he ends up realizing it's Donnie, but the AI part of this dude, Don, don't care. And it starts taking over, and it comes very, very close to lighting up the whole damn lair. Donatello almost takes Casey's life, and this right here is why he was so concerned. He eventually gets his mind back, but he couldn't help what was happening at first. So to say the least, he has some learning to do. Now meet Death Watch, what we like to call a D1 cornball. So later on, Donnie and this dude Death Watch get in a little fight, and let me tell you, it gets bad. This dude has cybernetic powers, ironic enough. So when he fights Donnie, he just connects to dude like he's putting in a damn USB. And this dude Death Watch starts talking insane. He tells Donnie how he can control the beating of his heart, his lungs, and all that. Basically just his whole body. So Donnie tells Death Watch he ain't scared of him. He's already faced death. He beat it. Which, you know, for Donnie's sake, is pretty tough. He's talking his talk. But that doesn't matter when the dude you are talking to is apparently just better, because he claps back, telling Donnie he didn't beat death, he just merely cheated it. Cause yeah, he can access his memory now too. Why not? He basically reminds Donatello he's not special, he's still paralyzed. The AI is giving him all his power. Without the armor, he goes back to what he was. As if this isn't disrespectful enough, Death Watch, however he does this, kills Donnie's consciousness and he gets sent to like a spirit realm or whatever. Now think about it. If Donatello's conscience isn't there, that leaves one thing to control everything: the AI. So now Donnie's body is really the AI, but walking around in a dead man's body. I know, some freaky shit. So after further discussion and understanding, you can guess the turtles are very, very mad and frustrated. They just got their brother back and they lost him again. Leo gets very mad at the AI, saying it could have gained control at any time and helped Donnie, but it didn't. He blames the AI, saying it did this on purpose so it wouldn't have to share a body, but it argues back with Leo. It simply explains Donnie told it to never help unless he asked for it, and he didn't. Despite Leo's anger, he can't ignore the facts, so he decides to find Death Watch and jump his little lame ass. And they pull up on this nasty ass Goosebumps Tales from the Crypt Keeper ass mansion, where he apparently resides. Now, as you can see, there are 3 turtles here. This is because Raph is not with them. If y'all didn't know, this takes place in the same universe where Raph becomes Shredder, a topic I already discussed and covered in another video on this channel, if you want to peep. And as of right now, he's on that adventure. Back to the robot BS though. They pull up to the mansion, and I'm not gonna lie, they find Death Watch and start stealing off on him. Like, they literally got this man talking about, ouch! But Death Watch thinks he's so locked in despite getting packed up. He's still talking crazy, saying he gonna bury people, then immediately gets thrown out a window. However, they are both getting good licks in, as the AI is having a hard time fighting Death Watch due to his powers. And sadly enough, as the fight continues outside, the robot Donnie gets picked up and impaled through what looks like the heart area. And through all this, Death Watch just talks about how he was upset he wanted to kill both Donnie and the robot, but only got one. However, like I said, they were rolling deep. The turtles weren't just alone. They had their alien crew with them too. And they blasted Death Watch with expertise. And well, after he's dealt with, they look down to see Donnie's body laying there. Well, I guess Death Watch wasn't lying about burying somebody. See, the AI was still keeping the body afloat despite Don's spirit not being there, but now with no physical body, it's dead and the robot must find a new host. It tries to jump on Mikey, but Leo shuts that down quickly. Then this pink slimy dude named Lurch decides he wants it for whatever reason and just kind of takes it and flies off. Like he's dead, just like he just takes it. And with nothing left, they just have Donnie's body. So they try their hardest to save him however they can by putting him in this alien chamber thingy on some Wolverine shit. And well, Donatello stays in here for a while until one day when Leo is in this spiritual plane, like the way they communicated before when Donnie was paralyzed. Leo sees none other than Don's spirit. He then explains to Leo he's been trapped in here after his first encounter with Deathwatch, because Deathwatch is a little hoe and felt the need to do that. When Donnie is finally able to connect with his body again, he enters it and awakens. His spirit coming back revived bro from death a second time. You may notice he still has some metal on him, and this is actually pretty cool. The metal is helping him heal. You see, it was doing its work in the chamber. So not only can Donnie walk again, but his body is healing inside the armor. And pieces of the metal fall off on their own as he heals. And well, there you have it. Donatello's story on how he quote-unquote cheated death twice. I won't lie, a lot of bullshit happened to him, but overall, he came back. I've seen a lot of people in the last video talking about how wild comics are and how crazy this is from the shows and whatnot, and yeah, it is. I feel a lot of people forget what the Turtles be about sometimes. They have things like the 80s show, then they have things like this and The Last Ronin and so on. Considering we are getting a Last Ronin movie and a game soon, there's a good chance this kind of TMNT could become a lot more prominent. But who knows?
Cowabunga!
It's a damn shame. Why we look like twins. Welcome back to another video. Hope y'all doing well. You look well, so I know you're doing well. Today we gotta talk about a TMNT villain. A severely tragic TMNT villain. Mutagen Man. TMNT has tons of villains and tons of crazy ones at that, but Mutagen Man has to be one of the most slept on and tragic ones. So in different versions, he's had different names. Like in the 80s show, his name is Seymour Guts. And in the 2012 show, his name's Timothy. But let me tell you something, both Timothy and Seymour Guts both got it crazily, so let's talk about it. They both suffered the same fate of coming across mutagen and it getting on them, except unlike most characters in TMNT, when they get mutagen, you know, they turn into a little character, a little animal, something different. No, Mutagen Man becomes a mixture of mutagen and literal body parts. Brain, eyes, lungs, intestines, all of that and more. In the 80s show, Seymour Guts is just some dude who's trying to deliver some, and he accidentally walks in the wrong building. What building is this? It's a building that Shredder and Krang just happen to be cooking up some schemes in. Well, Seymour's little stupid ass is very insistent on delivering his item. So Bebop and Rocksteady get to blicking him down. They shoot at him and the ground beneath him breaks and he falls in a vat of mutagen. Why'd you let that happen? Why'd you let that happen? Oh, y'all didn't see that. He emerges as none other than Mutagen Man. Instantly pressed about everything going on, he's like, bro, my body. And it turns out, the only way he can even survive is if Shredder plugs this tank into his back that has this mutagen juice. And of course, this is not something you can just get at your local Walmart, your local CVS. This is something that's hard to get. It's mutagen juice. Now, who you think the only suppliers of that are? Krang and Shredder. That was really crazy. Mutagen Man, he's salty about his transformation. He's like, bro, honestly, I'd rather look like Bebop. And then he proceeds to transform into Bebop. Somehow him falling into the mutagen gave him the abilities to shapeshift. Krang and Shredder, the D1 scam callers that they are, they see an opportunity and they seize it. They tell bro, hey, if you basically want to keep living and you want more of this mutagen juice to survive, we got you, but you gonna have to work for us. So they try to make him start doing crime and stealing stuff. Well, eventually, later on down the line, when Shredder sees no more use for bro, he deadass grabs it and unplugs it from him, and the juice just starts leaking out. What a life to live. What a life to live. Luckily, the Turtles are there in time to save him, but he was almost cooked. And that's his life. He can transform into other people, but he's just kind of cooks. Now that was bad. But we're gonna go from bad to worse. Because Timothy, on the other hand, hey bro, I'm gonna pray for him. See, one day he randomly saw the turtles out in their vigilante festivities. And you know what he's gonna try to do? Be a vigilante. He was inspired. But let me tell you something. This vigilante work, it ain't for everybody. This vigilante work, it ain't for everybody. Hey, we can chill. We don't gotta be vigilantes. Well, you don't gotta be a vigilante. I'm gonna go be one.
It's me, a criminal. I'm about to go do some crime.
Look at that. It's a criminal over there. Hey, watch this. Watch this. I'm gonna go stop. He's trying to do crimes. I'm gonna go stop him. Watch this.
What is that, a vigilante?
Alright, so this vigilante work isn't cut out for everybody. Anyways, Timothy ends up following the turtles on a mission that happens to take them to an area that has mad mutagen. Now, Timothy really thinks he's him, but he ends up just getting in the way. Getting in the way so much so that he gets mutagen on him. And this version already is a little more tragic, because right here, he doesn't just come out and emerge as Mutagen Man. He comes out as literally just like mutagen goo with like brains and organs in him. The turtles have to actually put him in a vat to contain him. His body is literally just mutagen juice. Hey, y'all, sing it with me. Oh, hell no. Basically, Donnie, he a little smart ass dude. He like, hey, don't worry, bro. We gon' fix you. They never help his ass. It's true, they don't. At one point in the show, he ends up like growing arms and legs out of the canister that they trap him in, and he starts rampaging through the city, and they have to stop him. And then they feel even more guilty after that. They never help him. And the worst part is, unlike the 80s version, Timothy literally it took down so much IQ. I mean, shit, not that he really had much to begin with moving the way he was, but it took more away. He basically became almost childlike in a way. His fate was sealed. Mutagen Man will forever remain an incredibly tragic character. Even in the IDW comics, there's a point where he grabs old Hobbs' gun and puts it to his head and just tells him to pull the trigger. IDW always just getting dark. IDW always getting us in our feels. For what? Overall, though, I would love to see Mutagen Man come back in another TMNT project. Probably a more mature one, because his story is a pretty dark and mature story, and I think the only way they could really tell it fully properly would be in a darker tone TMNT. But also, I'd like to see him catch a dub, bro. Let's see a Mutagen Man that actually gets to transform back into his human self. Whether it's Seymour Guts or it's Timothy, bro. Just let bro catch a dub. Honestly, probably Timothy, because Seymour Guts, he's tripping. He's doing a lot. And his name is Seymour Guts. Pause. But there you have it, y'all.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another gatorSTUDIOS video. Today we're talking about the time that Splinter went down a path to cannibalism. Yeah. I don't know how we went from happy-go-lucky, welcome back guys, to cannibalism that quickly, but it's said and done now. We're cooked. What's even worse is I gotta write the script for these videos, so the word cannibalism is just gonna be all up in my keyboard now. Yeah, so we can thank Mirage Comics for this beautifully crafted nightmare before us. So basically, while the whole City at War arc is going on, Splinter is off on his lonesome. And I want to say, if you don't know about the City at War arc, it's pretty peak. I'd recommend looking into it if you're a fan of TMNT. But anyways, so he's over here in some abandoned area doing abandoned area stuff. So he's on top of this silo looking down, and just because the world is preying on his downfall, a few bricks just stop bricking and collapse beneath his very feet, making him fall with them. He lands on the ground, cracking and busting his leg meat all over the floor. And for those of you that don't know what a silo is, like me, I had to do some research for this video. This is what one looks like, so rip bro. So he wakes up at the bottom and he's in extreme pain because he just turned his leg bone into a Kit Kat. And y'all know the slogan, have a break, have a Kit Kat? He had a break alright, I'll tell you that much. So he does what any ancient badass sensei would do. Makes a wooden splinter, pun right there. And he tightens the junk around his leg to heal. You know, this might cause just a little bit of pain. It's really only moving the already broken bone around in your leg meat. Nothing crazy for real. Splinter ends up blacking out because of the pain, and I mean, that's understandable. Then he wakes back up, and upon waking up, OG realizes that he's hungry. At this point, only God knows how long he's been down here. He tries to stand up and whatnot, but the pain from his busted up leg is simply just too much. So he's left, down in the cuts, to perish. And it's not like anybody knows his whereabouts, so he's just kinda cooked. Then disaster strikes. Yes, even more than it already has. The Rat King pulls up to the function. And brother is on one. He's over here talking crazy to Splinter, just jaw-jacking. And because Splinter is so hungry and in pain and all this, the Rat King tells him to eat a rat. That's really Splinter's only choice for food down there. And like, I said Lord knows how long Unk's been down there, so he's starving to say the least. The Rat King is apparently enjoying this though, because bro takes a seat next to Splinter and keeps talking crazy. Eventually Splinter starts tweaking out so much, he passes out. And upon opening his eyes, he sees that the Rat King has become a rat monster. Like, y'all see this too, right? Yuck! This boy Rat King just needs Splinter to eat some rat meat. He's basically begging and pleading at this point. I bet instead of eating and watching YouTube, he eats and ponders the idea of Splinter munching down on some rat juice. I bet instead of focusing on his grind every day and mapping out a plan to get rich, he's mapping out a plan to get some rats to feed Splinter for his delectable little feast. I mean, y'all heard the saying rags to riches, right? That boy clearly don't got no riches if he's dressed in rags. You know why? At this point, Splinter starts absolutely tweaking out, losing his mind. And for good reason. You see that thing? Even if I was a rat man, I would still tweak out seeing this. So the Rat King charges at Splinter, and Splinter starts tweaking out from this, so he starts screaming so much and so loud that he ends up waking himself up. Because apparently Splinter was either dreaming or had too much walk, because the Rat King isn't a monster. But this doesn't stop him from genuinely losing it. So the second he wakes up, he grabs and snaps and eats a rat. Yes, in that order. He's finally done it. And there's no going back now. He's a cannibal. Look at this nasty display. And you know the Rat King is geeked. Over here talking about some, this is your true form. Like, bro, if you don't shush. And by this point, Splinter realizes his leg feels a little better and he's able to walk by this point. And the Rat King tells him he's been in the silo for 2 months. So you telling me the whole time bro couldn't give him the status report until he was able to walk again? Like, bro, at that point, I'm cool. You could have told me this before. And you know, I'd like to believe the Rat King if it wasn't for the sole fact that Splinter finds Rat King's dead corpse at the bottom of the silo. You see, earlier in this series, at this very same silo, Leo threw some shurikens at bro, making him fall into the silo and killing him. So it turns out one of two things happened. Either Splinter was tweaking out the whole time, seeing and hearing the Rat King when he really wasn't there, or his spirit was haunting him, which is the more likely option considering, well, one, he's the freaking Rat King and has a bad past with Splinter. And later in the series, he shows up in the background right before Splinter actually does die. But nonetheless, Splinter was going through it. And after some fire ninja moves, he makes his way out the silo, surviving what looked like certain death. So, Unk really locked in. These are without a doubt some dark times for Mr. Splint. Dark enough to make him resort to cannibalism. This is, in my opinion, one of my favorite TMNT stories. I just think it's lit and it has great storytelling. Also, just to throw this out there is an amazing episode of the 2012 TMNT that reenacts this comic almost to a T. I really love this episode. low-key, I started tweaking out when I really saw it for the first time. With all that being said though, this concludes this nasty business of a story we just told. What's going on? Welcome back to another gatorSTUDIOS video. Today we're going to be talking about every turtle in TMNT, because there are a lot more than just Leo, Mikey, Donnie, and Raph. And speaking of Leo, Mikey, Donnie, and Raph, Leo, Donnie, Mikey, and Raph, our first four. I mean, we all know they exist, nothing crazy, but talking about the turtles and not bringing up, I don't know, the turtles is just kind of crazy. But enough about them. We all know them. At least I hope we do. If not, damn, that sucks. For you, like honestly, why did you click on the video? I'm not judging at this point. I'm genuinely curious. Like, why did you click on the video? Okay, let me chillax. That was a little bit crazy. Our next turtle we're about to talk about is Slash. He's probably my favorite out of the bunch we're gonna talk about, because he has the most character in my opinion. He's one of the most evolving characters too. I can't really just tell you who he is, because he's different in almost every version he's in. In the 80s show, he's an alien turtle from Dimension X that ends up getting mutated, and I know, that is probably the craziest thing you've heard all week, all century, matter of fact. And he really is just stupid, like genuinely. This man just cannot be smart. He's so stupid it hurts. But nonetheless, he's basically just a big, dumb, goofy little dude in the 80s show, who is obsessed with a palm tree for some reason, a plastic one at that. I don't know, whatever makes bro happy, I guess. However, in the 2012 show, he's so locked in. This show really made me like his character a lot. He basically dropped the idioticness and stood on business. In this version, he's Raph's pet turtle, which, yeah, sounds as weird as it sounds.
Hey there, little guy.
This dude Raph is on some crazy timing. But basically, bro ends up getting mutated and turns into a vigilante. He kind of reminds me of the turtles in the OG Mirage comics, which is fire, by the way. But he's trying to murk bad guys and all that. And he had Raph working with him, but obviously Raph ended up siding with his brothers in this matter. But this man Slash genuinely put the paws on them. He washed Mikey. I'm talking, bro, spiked Mikey down to the Earth's core like it's Super Smash Bros. At this point, he wasn't just standing on business. He was the business. Eventually, they end up beating him, and he eventually starts changing his ways. Of course, Mikey still has scoliosis from that absolutely monstrous beating he received, but he forgives and forgets. He's a better man-turtle thing than me. But the coolest part is bro creates the Mighty Mutanimals in the 2012 show. Now, for those of you that don't know the Mighty Mutanimals, they're a group of heroes in the world of TMNT. Just another reason why I love TMNT so much. Most people think it's just turtles boxing Shredder, but there's a lot of depth. He ends up being a pretty prominent character in the rest of the show, which is always cool. Sometimes the turtles and Mutanimals will just team up like Spider-Man 2 when Miles just pulls up for a little crime. In the IDW comics, he once again is actually just mentally ill, and he's kind of a big monster who acts childish, which is somewhat similar to his 80s counterpart. Now let's get to Jennika. She is essentially a 5th Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, and I'm speaking on TMNT here not as a franchise but as a group. She is part of the crew, and to be honest, I'm shocked she hasn't been in any new TMNT media. As the 5th Turtle, she's really popular. She reps a yellow headband and has this sick weapon I absolutely, positively do not know the name to. Believe it or not, she was actually a foot soldier who didn't mess with the turtles, and then issues later she did. And this was all while she was human, keep in mind. Eventually, she needed a blood transfusion, and Leo's knight in shining armor ass was just fiending to do it. Bro started jumping for joy thinking about doing it. Talking about some, yippee, I get to save the day. But of course, because this is, fiction, or just a comic book for that matter, this turns her into a turtle, which is honestly pretty sick. She even ends up dating some pig mutant chick. This is pretty disgusting, and I'd rather not think about a turtle and a pig together. But I salute you nonetheless, IDW. I salute you nonetheless. Next up is Metalhead. Either you love him or you hate him. But I hope you love him, because look at this guy. Overall, there isn't a whole lot to say about Metal Boy besides the fact that he was a robot created by Krang to destroy the turtles. And in the 2012 show, it's pretty much the exact opposite. A robot made by Donnie to destroy, Krang. He's a fun character, though. I always love seeing him around nonetheless. Now moving on to Toka. Now, this man is pure entertainment. His existence is kind of like a fast movie. They cooked at first and kept trying. Spoiler, they aren't cooking anymore. Reason I say this about Toka is because he was just a regular snapping turtle at the zoo that Shredder stole and mutated, trying to mimic the sweet sauce of the OG turtles, just like the way they try to mimic the old Fast movies but continue to fail miserably. Only problem is the mutagen was tampered with, and when bro got mutated, let's just say he wasn't all intelligent. He had the intelligence of an 8-year-old to be exact. That boy Shredder got the bootleg mutagen, man. Come on, man. You know better than this, Shredder. He's also one half of a very stupid duo, other half being Razar, a mutant wolf. And if you haven't figured this out yet, Shredder also stole him from the zoo and mutated him with the exact same dollar store, great value brand, off-brand mutagen. And since we're talking about them as a duo, I really want to bring up how fun they were in the second TMNT movie. They genuinely made this movie great. I mean, besides this part. Look at this! Mikey's wrists are gone, bro. I know he has at least 8 different fractures in his wrist. Golly, Razar, bro, come on! This is the second time Mikey has gotten bodied and desecrated in this video. Oh my gosh, bro. But back to Toka. Now, this is trippy. The 2012 show, for the most part, was very faithful to the 80s cartoon, but apparently not to these two. Now, Razar looked like this. And if you show me, bro, I wouldn't notice it's him, to be honest. But because they say his name, I obviously know who he is. But, Toka, on the other hand, just look.
Oh my God.
In the 2012 show, Toka is a fire kaiju alien turtle. And if I'm being completely 100% real with you, I had no idea this was Toka throughout my time watching the show. I mean, I'm sure they said it, I just wasn't locked in, apparently. Matter of fact, I didn't even know it was bro until making this video. I looked up giant fire turtle from 2012 to find his name. Then I see it says Toka. I started bugging out a little bit. Bro, I think I went into cardiac arrest. It also shocked me because, well, Toka is a whole female in this show, bruh. So much so, Blood has a child. One I'm about to talk about right now. This dude right here is Toka's kid. Look at this goofy dude. This is Chompy, and bro is pretty much just Raph's replacement for Slash, because, you know, he got mutated and is now the CEO of Business Incorporated.
The infamous Slash.
My fault. He's a baby fire turtle. Not a whole lot to be said, but they found him in the whole space event in the 2012 show, and Raph just kind of kidnapped Chompy, and then they ran away and put him in a white van spaceship. But also later in the show, Toka pulls up to Earth and like gives her blessing or something. I don't know. You can decide if this is a first-degree crime or not. I don't know. Venus. Not the planet, the turtle. The other 5th turtle. Like I mentioned, Jenica was the 5th. Venus also was. I'm willing to bet most people only know her from the Power Rangers crossover. And I mean, I can't blame you. This is freaking fire. But she's actually from a live-action show called TMNT, The Next Mutation. And in this show, she was their sibling from the jump. But she got lost in like Chinatown or something and ended up linking with them later. She has a light blue headband, which, like, why the... I'm sorry, but I think this might just be the most important part of the video. 'Cause, why is this a thing? Yellow, pink, white, gray. That's just a few colors that weren't used at the time. I'm sorry, I just felt like that would probably change the course of reality if I didn't say it. She did end up popping up in the IDW comics, but, like, this... And I've seen better days, like the day she met the Power Rangers. It's albino turtle time. Lita, a mutant turtle from the IDW comics. Oh, and would you look at this? Pink, A pink headband. Nope, I don't want to hear it, Venus. You had your chance. Lita was a little girl with some type of L guardian because she was homeless and alone in the mean streets of New York. I mean, y'all see what they be doing out there? I'd be more scared of a regular New York rat than if I seen Splinter himself. Off topic. Anyways, she gets clapped by a mutagen bomb and becomes a mutant turtle. Jenica and her friends end up finding her and taking her in. I say and friends because I don't feel like saying other people's names, but that's pretty much about it. Now let's get to Yi, Odin, Uno, and Moja. I think that's how you say it, Moja. I don't care, it's how you say it now. Listen, in my excuse, they're only in a comic, so I'm not hearing people pronounce their name. Anyways, I'm putting them all in one because they're kind of all in one deal. They are from the Last Ronin series. Now, I'm not going to give any spoilers because it's so peak, but I'd heavily recommend you check it out. And yes, before anyone asks, I thought about putting the Last Ronin himself in the video, but he's one of the 4 main turtles, so no. The 4 of them, though, are basically young turtles in training, basically what Leo, Donnie, Mikey, and Raph once were. There isn't a whole lot to say about them right now because they're still fairly new. I mean, they have personalities, but it'd be kind of hard to explain in the video. They're actually from The Last Ronin Lost Years, which is a prequel about The Last Ronin himself, but it also shows the present with these new turtles and the fact that they're being trained to become the next TMNT. Our next turtle is April, and yes, like O'Neil. She was actually a turtle once, although for a very short time, she was a turtle. And apparently she understood the assignment better than Venus, because she had a white headband. And yeah, this comic came out before Venus was introduced, so technically the color white was taken, but this was a random part in a comic that didn't last long, and will realistically probably never be visited again. She also carries one katana, and this is a great time to bring up how cool Jenica's weapon is. Cause April was pretty much just jacking Leo's swag. I mean, first Venus wants to jack the color, and now April wants to jack the weapon. Golly, let that man breathe. As to how she became a turtle though, she thought she was Slash, aka the businessman.
The infamous Slash.
And was investigating some stuff, but ended up getting mutagen thrown on her. But like I said, it didn't last long and she ended up getting turned back. I wonder how many times I've said mutagen in this video.
Well, wasn't that just a whole lot of TMNT? That was pretty fire, huh? I appreciate you watching. Make sure to subscribe. And as always, peace.